False Start, a college football podcast for everyone and everyone else. I'm your host, Jon Buhler, lead writer for Fansided. I'm joined today by a man who's also watching his mediocre NFL team play a game right now against a team he absolutely hates. But, we're going to talk some college football anyway, because that's a little bit more important to make us feel slightly happier. Cody Williams, content director of Fansided.com. How are you?
I mean, look, life is pain, and NFL Sundays are pain. That's where we're at, man.
For those not in the know here, my Atlanta Falcons are at the hated New Orleans Saints. We've lost five in a row. We're 3-7. They're 2-8. Your Cowboys, I believe, are hosting the Eagles right now.
Yeah, and Cavante Turpin just they decided to give him a carry for whatever reason, and he immediately fumbled it. So that's where we're at.
It's a blessing to be in this league. It's a blessing to be a starter. To become a starter, be sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, give us a 5-star review, and all that stuff here. Cody did a fantabulous job doing 3 yards to the cloud punt while I was celebrating Arizona State podcast birthday weekend. It's over because somebody had to go back to work, hasn't her?
Yeah, it's the unfortunate reality. Work always calls us back, man.
You can't take your ball and go home, but you can obviously fall start like the Falcons did in a drive here. We obviously fall started here today. So our first and 15 today is going to be playoffs. You kidding me? Our projected 12-team ballot, 12-team playoff brackets, first 4 teams out, heading into rivalry week after Cupcake Week, the penultimate week of the season.
Mhm.
It'll be interesting to see how this comes together here. I think we have maybe some consensus, but I don't know if it's not going to be unanimity with this.
Yeah, I don't think so. Still quite a bit to be decided. The ACC is just an abs like I told you, man. There's not a good team in this league. It's
No.
unbelievable.
No, you get started first. Rattle off whatever you want to get the ball rolling here.
Yeah, I'll start with the top four. I think that's the easiest way to do it. At one, I've got Indiana. At two, I've got Georgia. At three, I have Ohio State. And at four, I have Texas Tech.
We're a little bit different, so that's
Okay.
good. We've got Ohio State at 1, Indiana 2, Georgia 3, Texas A&M at 4,
Okay.
and I have Texas Tech at 5.
Okay. And so again, this stems from my belief that I think Texas A&M is losing next week. I think Texas A&M loses to Texas and thus does not play in the ACC championship game, and
Yeah.
obviously doesn't have another win to pad like to add to their resume. And the resume starts to look pretty thin if you don't have a win over Texas there.
Okay. I think that makes sense if you see Texas beating Texas A&M. Again, going back and forth in that game, we'll make a pick here, on Thursday show super early on Wednesday because Thursday is Thanksgiving and we gotta do that stuff.
That's right. Yeah, we gotta go spend time with Los Familias.
Yes. Big familiar for me and work familiar for you, and this is false start.
That's
Love
right. That's
this.
right.
All right, so okay, I'm good with the Big Ten champion that you project to be at 1. You've got Indiana, I've got Ohio State. No real qualms with that. Again, you figure like the loser moves down. You've
Yeah.
got Georgia winning the SEC, and I've got Georgia just like, can you please get there? I'm a little dubious of that, but we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. I mean, like their destiny is in Texas A&M's hands. They or Alabama. Alabama could lose to Auburn. I'm not going to rule it out. Deuce Knight looked pretty solid, so there's that.
Speaking of that looking solid, Tyler Shuck looked like Tyler Shuck in a play. He almost got sacked by like somebody escape pressure with his Mike Glennon long neck, and then was it 17 came on him? I don't know who the hell it is for the Falcons. Just some guy tries to dump it off and just completely throws it like it is shins.
Ah, yes. Exactly why Tyler Shuck was worth a top 40 pick. What are
No,
we doing?
no. So you have Texas Tech at 4. You believe that they get in effectively by winning the Big 12 championship over BYU or whoever that may end up being, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like if you win over BYU again, that's another top 15 win for Texas Tech. And more importantly, like when you factor in the Texas A&M equation of it all, like if it were to be Texas A&M Georgia or Texas A&M Alabama in the SEC championship game, that would drastically change what this bracket's going to look like. But with Texas A&M, I think dropping back for the loss of Texas, Alabama's sitting at 10 right now. Like Alabama, no matter what happens in the SEC championship game, probably is not going to be able to jump in to get one of these buys.
No, like the best they could probably do is like 4, and you would need,
You would
God,
probably need Texas Tech to lose the Big 12 championship game, if I'm being completely honest.
and you might honestly need Ohio State to lose to Michigan.
Yeah, yeah, that would be helpful. Which I'm probably not going to pick that, but it would be hilarious. It just would be funny.
It would be ridiculously funny. So yeah, not much there. Six, I've got Ole Miss.
Okay, I have Ole Miss at 5.
Hmm.
So we're pretty lockstep there. I mean, I just don't see them losing the Egg Bowl. Is really what it comes down to. I think Mississippi State, we've talked about it, like they're playing inspired football, they're playing hard, and they're much better than they were a year ago. But I just think they've run out of gas. Like I don't think that there's only so much they can do at this point.
I think it is in Starkville this year, which I think gives them a puncher's chance. Obviously, you're 5-6, you're playing for bowl eligibility.
Mhm.
You beat a really good team in Arizona State, or a good team in Arizona State.
That's right.
And you've held the part against, Texas and other teams for a while. But again, I think you're probably going to run out of gas versus a more talented Ole Miss team. So I've kind of got feeling interesting about the Rebels here as well. So who did you have at 6?
So I just said my 5 was Ole Miss because that was your 6. I have Oregon at 6. They're not going to go anywhere, man. Like Washington, despite a win over UCLA, I think is limping to the finish a little bit. Like UCLA is a zombie team at this point without like with Nico's injury, and I think Oregon's going to take care of business. And like whether or not I agree that they're the sixth best team in the country or not is really irrelevant at this point. That's what I think. Like they're not. If they don't lose to Washington, they're pretty much locked into one of these top, like hosting a home game in the first round of the playoff.
I'm way down on Oregon. I think that they might lose to Washington. This is the biggest fake tough guy team ever. I heard what you said about Dan Lanning over the air, and I wrote about that. Like this is just like this guy's lost all of his SEC credibility from Alabama and Georgia. It's just like he'd rather be coaching the third best team in the Big Ten in perpetuity and never win a national championship and
Mhm.
pretending we're really cool in our 55,000 person stadium. Like
Yeah,
whatever.
those comments, man. I apologize to the starters. I was just gassed last night, so I didn't have the most energy in the entire world. I'm aware of that, but I tried to give you my best thoughts. But yeah, I mean, just nonsense comments, hypocritical, and like again, like I keep coming back to like, don't throw stones in a house where you played Oklahoma State, Oregon State, and Montana State in the non-conference.
No.
Like, what are we doing?
And your third best wins Northwestern.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
like like there's not like I actually I saw a joke earlier today and like it was from Brandon Walker at Barstool and he was basically and it was from yesterday but I saw it this morning and it was something to the effect of how dare as the SEC allow teams to play cupcakes like Samford, Eastern Illinois, Charlotte, and Kentucky and I was like and it's a damn good joke but I also thought about that and I'm like man, like, does playing a conference game really matter in this spot? Because like you can play Kentucky. If you're in the Big Ten, you can play a Purdue. You can play if you're in the ACC, you could play a Boston College. Like not like these games like where things fall on the schedule, I think is one of the most overblown things in the entire world. Like I don't like outside of rivalry week, which I think, you need to have the biggest rivalry games in rivalry week because that's its own separate thing. Like anywhere else in the schedule, I don't give a damn where you put it. Like it just blows my mind that people make a big deal out of that. And for a sitting head coach of a top 10 team in the country to make a big deal out of it is mind blowing.
I ended up writing this for Dawn of the Dog here. I did the FPI projections, and obviously we'll do what the real playoff is. Yeah, just Tyler Shuck just sucks. Doesn't know what he's doing.
He's real bad.
He's not very good, and we still might lose to them. It's fine. But with the way it would break out is I think Georgia would end the season of all three teams in the Big Ten getting in because Oregon would be the five, Georgia would be the four.
Mhm.
Ohio State would be two, and Ohio State would be one, and Indiana would be two. So they would beat them in succession like the Grim Reapers. I thought that was
Oh,
hilarious.
100%. It would be awesome.
It would be incredible here, but yeah, like I've got thoughts about Oregon. I have them in here, but I've got them much later. At 7, I've got Oklahoma.
Okay, I also have Oklahoma at 7. So we're in lockstep there.
I don't trust John Mateer in the offense at all. I think the defense is menacing. I think there's probably only about maybe one or two offenses that I think could really make things challenging for them. Unfortunately, those two offenses are Ohio State and Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely they are going to be a tough matchup for any team that they face. But and like that includes Georgia and like I think Indiana, Ohio State, and Georgia can all three cause problems for them. But like, and I also think weirdly Texas Tech would be a bad matchup with them. Like that'd be just the rock fight of rock fights. Like just two defenses who are way better than both of those offenses would be a hilarious matchup. But like Oklahoma can win a lot of these games, but I don't think like I said it last night. I don't think they can win a national championship.
It'd be very interesting if they end up playing Notre Dame in the first round. That would be
Mhm.
a tough matchup. A team that's all run versus a team that doesn't allow the run. I think Indiana could play bully ball and play keep away with them potentially, but like, yeah, the defense is going to present problems for teams in the playoff field. I don't think that they can win more than 2 games.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Like I could see them getting to a semifinal, but it's hard to see. It's hard for me to envision beyond that. And I mean, maybe the offense finds its footing, but we have not seen signs of that in any
No.
recent week.
No, number 8, I've got Notre Dame.
I also have Notre Dame at number 8. You get to play Stanford the final week of the regular season to lock yourself into a home playoff game. Seems pretty nice.
I will say it's a road game at night, so be wary of that. And Stanford hates you. So like, I'm not gonna say Notre Dame could get upset Stanford, but like, there's a non-zero chance that does happen.
Non-zero, sure.
Probable no, because Stanford just beat Cal. You can't do that twice in a row.
No, you definitely like that was an upset in and of itself. And we also just watched Notre Dame like beat Syracuse. They were up 21 to nothing on Syracuse before touching the ball in offense. Like
I don't know if
unreal.
you I don't know if you saw what Neil Adler of Inside the Loud House is going through in real time on Slack.
I did not, but I wish I had.
He was like, if they score 100, I'm going to give up writing about Stanford football and just do basketball and cross country at this point.
You're right.
He's like, can I have like a beer while I'm doing like the live tweeting of this? And Michael's like, you know what? Sure. You know, go ahead,
You
man.
deserve it, man. At this
Uh,
point.
the guy's gone like a complete 180 on Fran Brown in real time, and I understand that. This has been a really rough year for the Orange. I don't think they're this bad. I think it just hit the fan very quickly
Yeah.
with Steve Angeli getting hurt.
Yeah, I mean, like it took a what I think was probably like I still don't think Syracuse was probably going to a bowl game, but like I think it took a 5-7 team and made it a 3-9 team.
It'd be like that sometimes.
100%.
All right, so my last two teams in, I've got Alabama at 9 and Oregon at 10.
Okay, did you say Texas Tech?
Texas Tech, yeah, I've got
Oh,
Texas
you got
Tech
Texas
at,
Tech at 5. I'm
I have a
sorry.
Texas Tech at 5, yeah.
I apologize. Okay, and you so Alabama and Oregon. I have Alabama and Texas A&M as my last two in. Alabama at the 9 and then Texas A&M at the 10. Look, man, if Alabama plays for that SEC championship game and A&M doesn't, I don't care if Alabama loses it. I still think they're going to be ranked ahead of A&M. Like I truly believe that if what I feel in my heart of hearts is going to happen this week with Texas A&M losing, that it's going to be a watershed moment for the Aggies in terms of how the selection committee views them. Like I think they're going to look at this team and just like unpack the resume and be like, "Great, you beat Notre Dame by 1. What else have you done?" And the answer is not a whole hell of a lot, man.
No. No, Bama's played some teams. They've got some good wins under their belt as
Yeah.
well. If Well, Alabama's ranked 10 now. I mean, there may be some chaos. They may move up to what, 8 maybe heading into the SEC championship. If they were to beat A&M and Georgia, they'll be like 6 maybe.
Yeah, like I could definitely see that.
And then Georgia and I would probably be like 7 or 8 at that point. And I don't even know who your buys would be. It'd be probably Ohio State, Indiana, Texas Tech, and then probably I'm not going to swear out here. Trying to think who else. They'll probably give it to effing Oregon.
They probably would give it to Oregon, which is the dumbest thing in the world.
I know.
Give it to Notre Dame over Oregon, like honestly.
Yeah, give it to Notre Dame over anybody else. Like, why not? Who cares?
I honestly like it would be an interesting thing because like the two candidates would be like Oregon and Ole Miss. And like neither would
Yeah.
play for their conference championship and you're still getting a bye. Like that would be a very optically that would certainly ruffle some feathers.
How do you jumpstart that? I think you come out of that game up completely dead and you just lose immediately. You lose like 41 to 10 with no momentum at
100%.
all.
I agree.
Yeah, it's not going to be good there. So we have the same teams, I believe, in our top 10.
Yep.
Interestingly, who we have as our last two in. So I've got Virginia at 11 winning the ACC, and I have James Madison winning the Sun Belt like 5-12.
Okay, so I have Virginia also winning the ACC because they're the only ACC team that hasn't burned me quite yet. And I just have visions of them losing to Virginia Tech. Like it just feels like it could happen. And it feels like it would be very ACC for it to happen. But I do think it's a bit like a different team when Chandler Morris is playing and like he is healthy right now. And so I got Virginia there, and then I've got Tulane winning the group of 5. And that's more to my point of last night. I'm done trying to figure out what's going to go on here because I didn't think Tulane should have been ranked in the college football playoff last week over James Madison, over North Texas. And they were. So if that's where the committee is, that's where I'm just going to put my stock in now. I would almost bet my life that it's going to change because betting on anything in the group of five right now is fool's errand.
No, like just when of course, we threw a pick. Great. Absolutely wonderful. Pick six, too, I'm sure. God, this team is so dumb. uh, man. It was a Matt Ryan, like they it hits the guy in the hands and somebody else picks it up.
We love that.
It's a very Dak Prescott pick, too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, and Dak gets the blame for those, which is the most fun part.
It's so cool. It's the coolest thing. It's the coolest thing in real time. Yeah. And so it's like it's Tulane, James Madison, North Texas. I believe Navy are still vying for it, I guess.
Yeah.
San Diego State could be, maybe.
Maybe I mean they're sitting pretty in the Mountain West. It's just again to the point like what the committee has told us with ranking South Florida and then when South Florida lost ranking Tulane in there as the highest ranked G5 team. I think what they told us is that they think the American's good and they think every other G5 conference sucks ass. Like I
Yeah.
think that's what we're being told. And they're not necessarily wrong, but also I don't want to like me personally, I wouldn't reward the American for being a better conference. I would reward the body of work, which James Madison currently has the better body of work.
That's kind of where I'm leaning with it in this, but it seems that the committee is like whoever wins the American is going to get in unless it's just absolute chaos. Then I guess we'll give it to JMU.
Yeah, like they'll reluctantly give it to the Dukes.
Reluctantly give it to the Dukes. And then our first four out, this could be interesting. I've got BYU, Miami, Vanderbilt, and Michigan.
I've got we've got three of the same. I have Vanderbilt, BYU, Miami, and then Utah. Um,
Yeah,
and to me, it's if I have Ohio State at three, that means they are not losing to Michigan. And
yeah.
if Michigan loses to Ohio State, I don't really see them being in the first four out category. That's kind of where I fell there. And Utah, Lord, I don't know if you caught eyes on the Kansas State game yesterday. It was one of the wildest things I've ever seen. Just absolute calamity all over that field. But it looks like they're going to finish 10-2, but they don't really have a path to the Big 12 championship game. They don't really have a path to do anything more than just like be on the outside looking in.
Yeah, as far as Power Four teams are concerned, they're on the outside looking in. The only ones outside of the ACC. We're not, maybe Miami is different. Like either ACC is adjacent or separate or whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah.
They're on this wall, not that wall. But like BYU could get in if you win the Big 12. I think that's fair. Vanderbilt, if you win out, you have a chance.
Mhm.
You may get left on the cutting room floor unfairly, but like we'll see what happens. And then Miami, if you get a quality win over Pitt, I think it's some chaos. Maybe you can get in two. Utah, I don't think that's going to happen for you. Texas, I don't think it's going to happen for you.
No.
Michigan, if you beat Ohio State, it could happen for you, but probably not.
Yeah, I would I need to actually look into the Big Ten scenarios. I've done a lot of scenarios for other conferences, but not necessarily the Big Ten to this point. But I need to look and see. Actually, let me go ahead and do this live. Let's talk about BYU because I think one thing like so I have Vanderbilt ahead of BYU because I'm finally joining you, Bueller, and feeling willing to do this. I think Vandy's going to beat Tennessee next week, but I think that to get in, they would essentially need either Notre Dame or Alabama to lose next week. Otherwise, I don't quite see them. Maybe Oregon, but I don't with Oregon, like Oregon just jumped up to five in the AP top 25, which I completely disagree with. But like if the committee follows suit with that after the USC win, like I think Oregon could still be in with a loss to Washington.
Oklahoma could still lose to LSU. That's another one potentially that could open it up. But I don't see that happening.
I don't think LSU can score on Oklahoma. I really like I think it's going to be a very similar game to what we saw against Mizzou, where Oklahoma's offense looks terrible and it never feels close. Like I think that's what we're going to see.
So I think I don't know if the Big Ten tie-breaking scenarios is, but like Michigan only has one conference loss, that is to USC.
Hmm.
And For some reason this year head to head doesn't matter. I don't understand what the hell's going on here. If you have the head to head over Ohio State and they're 8-1 in conference play, wouldn't you go there instead of them?
So let me see. So okay, let's predict these results real time. So Nebraska, Iowa, who do we got? Because this will determine like strength of record and stuff like that in the conference.
I would probably go Iowa. Nebraska can't move the ball without Del Raiola.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and lock in Indiana over Purdue, because I feel pretty confident in that one. Illinois, Northwestern.
Nobody's gonna give a rat's ass in that game. You know what? Give it to Northwestern. I think they're playing with a little more momentum. I think Illinois game just looked awful versus Wisconsin.
All right, so we'll give Michigan the win over Ohio State. We got Minnesota, Wisconsin. I'm inclined to give Minnesota the win there because I think
Hmm.
Wisconsin just had their Super Bowl beating Illinois.
Yeah, I'd
Um,
probably agree there.
Michigan State, Maryland. I probably lean Maryland, but I don't feel
Hmm.
good about either of those teams.
Yeah,
Penn State, Rutgers. Penn State's playing with a little momentum. I'd probably go Nittany Lions there.
yeah, they're both 5-6. They're fighting for bowl eligibility there. I'd probably take Penn State.
All right, USC, UCLA. I think pretty obviously USC.
Trojans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna pick Oregon for this one. We can reverse it and do what happens. Just see what this happens if Oregon, even if Oregon wins, and then
Yes.
if it is Oregon in the Big Ten championship game, we can reverse it and see what happens then. So yeah, if Oregon beats Washington, they would have the tiebreaker over Michigan and Ohio State in that spot,
Hmm.
based on conference opponent winning percentage.
So it would be
However, if Washington were to lose or Washington were to beat Oregon, Michigan would take Ohio State's spot in the Big Ten championship game.
okay. So if Michigan beats Ohio State, they would play Indiana.
Yeah.
Right.
If
And
if Washington beats Oregon, if Oregon beats Washington, even with Ohio State losing, Oregon would go to the Big Ten championship game.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, we did that.
yeah,
We're really proud of it. Let's do our first round. Let's do our matchups real quick. All right.
100%.
So my buys are Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, Georgia 3, Texas A&M 4. My 5-12 is Texas Tech versus James Madison. That's going to be a TNT game.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah.
I got a very self-important, very hoity-toity, aristocratic bowl here at 6-11 with Ole Miss hosting Virginia. 7-10 Oklahoma versus Oregon. The fake tough guys versus the real tough guys.
Right.
And then 8 and 9, a really good one. Notre Dame hosting Alabama.
Yeah, so my buys are Indiana, Georgia, Ohio State, Texas Tech. In the 5-12, the rematch everyone's been clamoring for, Tulane at Ole Miss.
Oh yes.
Yeah, go Rebs on that one, I think. Speaking of hoity-toity, we got Oregon hosting Virginia. Um, Jesus, I don't know what to do with that game. I have Oklahoma hosting Texas A&M, and then I have the same matchup, Notre Dame hosting Alabama.
Oh, good ones there. So that's exciting here. And on that note, let's move on to our next topic here with some he gone, he coming.
Yes, sir.
Keep this a little bit light. Probably going to touch on just three coaches here. We saw today, this afternoon, Mike Norvell has been given a vote of confidence. He's going to be returning to Florida State in 2026 for some reason that I don't understand. The Florida State's become the ACC version of Wisconsin. Really
Mhm.
dumb. There's also the Lane Kiffin of it all, which what Pete Thamel kind of unpacked very concisely on game day yesterday. And then there's the Jon Sumrall stuff from Stephen Godfrey, which that's the one I'm really intrigued by.
Yeah, so I'll touch on Norvell really quickly. I think it's a little more understandable than Wisconsin, at least from my perspective, just because I like I think Norvell's a better coach than Luke
I do
Fickell, like
too.
just point blank, period. But I also think that part of the issues that Florida State has been having are part like, in 2024, you hitched your wagon to DJU. Now you can talk about the merits of making that decision in the first place, and there are not a whole lot of them, but like that obviously worked disastrously. And then you marginally improved by going with Tommy Castellanos this year. And like this season is a Tommy Castellanos season. Like that's really what it is.
Right.
And I think the most important thing that was said with the vote of confidence was the financial investment that's going to be made. Florida State is still a destination. Players still want to go to Florida State. You have the advantage of if you're on the recruiting trail right now, Florida doesn't have a head coach. So
No.
you are top dog in the state of Florida right now if you want to go and make some headway in some of these recruiting battles. And so when you start to piece together the whole picture of it, you can talk yourself into how Mike Norvell can get Florida State back to where, like, maybe not 13-0, ACC champions or anything like that, but like get them back to a bowl game, get them back to winning 8, 9 games a season, and get them back trending in the right direction. You can talk yourself into that. Do I believe that's what's going to happen? No, I don't. But I understand why you can talk yourself into that. Whereas with Wisconsin, I don't know how you're talking yourself into Luke Fickell other than we don't want to pay the money.
I don't know. Florida State's all over the place. Well, I bet the fan base is just so mad here. I kind of think Mike Norvell's becoming the new Brian Kelly in some ways. Also, I did not know that Kenzel Kelly was his son. That blew my mind last night.
Free BK, baby. Free BK.
Yeah, that's why they didn't do senior moments for you.
100%.
Did not realize that. I mean, that's absolutely wild. But yeah, this is the Tommy Castellanos kind of season. This is kind of what you signed up for. I do feel that you can't really fire Malzahn or Tony White. It's kind of like their choice. You can throw your special coordinator under the bus, special teams coordinator under the bus, which I think you got to do.
Yeah, I definitely do. And I would imagine that there is a hope in that building that Gus Malzahn takes another job, which I think is not out of the
Yeah,
question.
yeah, because it hasn't really taken off since you let Alex Atkins go and everything like that. It's
Yeah.
still you can't churn through coordinators like this, and you got to recruit like out of high school. Norvell is trying to hit the portal and stuff. He's just not as good as it as Lane Kiffin and everything like that.
Who is, man? That's the Portal King.
The last thing I'll say about Florida State before we move on to Kiffin stuff, and then probably finish up with Sumrall is I think also you do this because I think there's been somebody you did your reconnaissance and you're effectively told Jon Sumrall and Alex Galesh are not coming.
Yeah, 100%. It seems like Galesh is the I don't know if I want to say favorite, but close to it for Arkansas, which I think would be a
Yeah,
hell of a hire for Arkansas if you can do that.
I don't know where his wife is from, but she is from that state.
Yeah. So, I mean, could make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. And then Sumrall will touch on here in a second here. So the Lane Kiffin of it all. God. Wrote a lot about that for Hail Florida, Hail from a Florida perspective, because that side hits a little bit harder than the other ones we're dealing with here. It's a three-team race for Lane Kiffin. Ole Miss being able to retain him, LSU, and then Florida. All three schools are going to put forth a $13 million annual offer, bunch of NIL. So he's not going to be outbid by anybody
Yeah.
effectively. If it is, it's inconsequential at this point. Everybody in Lane's inner circle does know it's going to happen. It does seem as though Florida's a distant third
Mhm.
because they're looking at other coaches. This goes back to them like, you know, trying to see if Golesh or Summerall would interview with them and anything like that. I think LSU is only looking at Kiffin right now. And then obviously I'll miss. We got to play in a playoff right now.
Right.
I'm of the belief all things equal he stays because I feel like he doesn't want to have this toxic mess hanging over him. If he can get what he thinks if he can get all that he needs at Ole Miss, why does he have to leave?
No, and I'm actually starting to lean more that way than I was previously. Like I'm it's certainly a non-zero chance that he goes to LSU. Like it's definitely
Right.
nothing is set in stone. Like I would probably put it like 65-35 where I am for Ole Miss and then LSU. But like I think the way this story has materialized is going to push Lane Kiffin to stay. Like that's kind of where I'm at. Like when you think about like yes, there are still a lot of things about Lane Kiffin that are juvenile. I'm not going to argue to the contrary, but also go back and look 10 years ago. The man has grown up a hell of a lot and like specifically since he's gotten to Oxford, he's become an adult. He's become someone who is very clearly happy in life and not just happy with his job. And like I do think he's at a point in his life where he values that. And one thing I did want to touch on, you mentioned Florida. I also think that Florida's positioning in this situation, not like I'm with you. I do think that they're a distant third in this, but more importantly, they also don't have the same luxury that an LSU does. Because I spoke about it last week. LSU, if they miss on Lane Kiffin, they can still go talk to some pie in the sky target and be like, hey, how would you like $120 million? Like they have those resources, they have the wherewithal, they have the ability and the allure of that program to be able to do that. Florida does not. Florida at one point may have had that, but with where that program has been over the past, half decade, they do not have that right now.
I do appreciate Florida, like at least like, we're gonna do a big offer because you could maybe entice somebody. It says we may not
Absolutely.
give you like that much money, but with Ryan Silverfield, you want to come back home, we'll give you eight.
100%. Absolutely.
And he'd take that job in a heartbeat.
I absolutely agree.
And I think it actually might be better than Billy Napier.
You're not wrong. You're not
No,
wrong there.
because it's not wrong there. Terry Smith is being formally interviewed for Penn State. They've won 2 games in a row. They beat the tar out of Nebraska. They survived a close one versus Michigan State. You beat Rutgers. You get 3 Big Ten wins in a row. There may be some momentum to keeping him, but I still think it's probably going to be Eli Drinkwitz going to Penn State.
I think it would be a mistake to hire Terry Smith. And that's no
No,
fault of Terry Smith. Like I think he's a fine coach, but like I've said it before and I don't think hiring the interim goes right more often than not. I think it's the other way around.
no. So we get that out of the way. Let's talk about Jon Sumrall.
Yeah, let's do it, baby.
Stephen Godfrey of I think Split Zone Duo.
Yeah.
I read this. I tried to skim through it. I wish I remembered it completely, but he gets pretty good intel on the group of five stuff. And Jon Sumrall is a native of Alabama, and he coached at Troy. Obviously, his alma mater is Kentucky. Doesn't seem like Kentucky's going to open up. I don't know if he wants that. Also, Auburn's a better job. And I also think that like they're waiting to see what happens if Tulane makes the playoff. Maybe this becomes a little bit more challenging. If they don't, I think he's going to get hired very quickly at Auburn.
I agree, and I think it's a home run for Auburn too. If they are able to get Jon Sumrall, I think that you don't interview Jon Sumrall, you don't talk to Jon Sumrall without being confident in confident in the fact that you're going to give him reign to do what he wants with the program because he is a program builder. Like you look at what he did in literally like 6 months at Tulane. Like, granted, Tulane was in a good spot where Willie Fritz left it, but at the same time, they didn't just not miss a beat, they stayed on the exact same trajectory. You look at what he built at Troy, and like he is a culture setter, he is a team builder, he is a roster builder, and like that's exactly what Auburn needs. Auburn needs some sort of identity. They don't need the Hugh Freeze quick fixes of the world. They need someone who is going to make institutional change within that program. And everywhere Jon Sumrall has stopped to this point, that's what we've seen.
Yes, I was telling the Arizona State podcast, like when I saw this news on I think Friday after I got back from Athens and everything like that. Oh, we got some more light here. It's
There we
great.
go. There we go.
It's getting dark in here, dude. But anyway, I was just saying like this is the power four. This is a group of five head coach that Cody and I have liked more than anybody else the entire time we've been doing the show for 3 years.
That's our guy. That's our guy, man.
That's our guy. So we've watched him do his clump. We watched him replace Willie Fritz at Tulane. We watched him do fantastic things at Troy. He also doesn't take bad jobs,
No, he
which
doesn't.
is why I don't think he's going to take Kentucky. I think Auburn's just an infinitely better job than that.
No, it absolutely is. And I mean, you think back to when he took the Tulane job, like there were P4 jobs open that from everything we heard, like were interested in Jon Sumrall. And he was like, I don't want to take a crappy P4 job. I would rather take a really high end, a higher end G5 job.
I guess my last thought here is because you've coached in the region and you've also recruited in state Alabama at Troy, the public school, like
Mhm.
I figured that'll play very well with the local high school coaches. And you have a lot of talent there in the state of Alabama. You just got to split with like a bunch of other schools.
Right.
I think you can turn around pretty quickly. I'm not going to say you're gonna have like a rough first year. I think you probably maybe go 6-6, relatively speaking.
I think honestly that depends on how much of the roster that's currently in place he's able to keep intact. Like if you keep a core of Deuce Knight and Cam Coleman and then are able to like supplement through the portal, I don't think it's I think there's a non-zero chance that Auburn's like a comfortable bowl team next year.
Only problem is you got to play Alabama and Georgia on the road.
Yeah. I mean,
The-
like I said, I didn't say college football playoff. I said
No,
comfortable bowl team. I'm talking 7, 8 wins. That's what we're looking for.
you know what?
That's
Let's go. Got
progress. That's progress for the truck drivers out there. All
That's
right.
progress for the truck drivers out here. When you honk the horn, does the horn go do Host or do Host? Let's move on to the next topic here. Two-parter here with some Vanderbilt. Gosh, the Saints kicker just looks really sad. He's missed 2 kicks. He's just a little bitch out there. Jughead's just can't believe it.
How did we get here?
There was also a play when I was looking away earlier. Somebody tried to sack Cousins, like leapfrogged over him, and then somebody else got him.
Cousins' mobility was never his strong suit, and it's declined from there.
Dude, it's like I'm watching an old NFC West game growing up, where Falcons, Saints duking out in the basement with the Rams and the Niners at the top. It's great.
He looks like Cousins looks like he moves like a 1990s quarterback with like the huge ass shoulder pads, except he has normal shoulder pads on.
I can't, I can't think with this thing. Duhast. This is a fun one. Duhast, Cody. Will Vanderbilt make the playoff? And Duhast, will they flip five-star quarterback Jared Curtis away from Georgia?
So first part of the question, I'm going to go do Haas two S's. It brings me no pleasure to say that, but I kind of mentioned it when we were talking about our projected playoff fields. They need a lot of help to get in there. And like for starters, you're behind BYU. You're not even the first team out currently. BYU could take care of itself in terms of losing to Texas Tech for a second time in the Big 12 championship game. So BYU can be leapfrogged. But then you have the teams that like conceivably could drop out. We're talking about maybe Oregon, but I'm dubious of that. Notre Dame and Alabama. Those are basically the teams that you would need to, and Oklahoma as well.
Yeah.
But all three of those are going to be heavy favorites in their final week. And so like the likelihood of any of those matchups, even in rivalry games, flipping is just so unlikely that I don't see Vanderbilt like there's not a world where Vanderbilt can play itself in there. They're in one of these, like when we're talking about conference championship scenarios, they're in a situation where they need help to get in because I don't think even a win over Tennessee is going to leapfrog them ahead of any of these teams.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Duhas two S's here. It doesn't bring me any joy either. It's like you have to beat Tennessee, but then you're also diminishing your second best win.
Hmm.
That and Missouri, your two best wins, they may not be ranked wins by the end of the year. Your two losses are at Alabama and to Texas. And again, you need to root for Alabama to lose, which makes that looks even worse. Texas is kind of out of it. I'm hoping for it. I'm mostly hoping for
Yeah.
Oregon to lose to Washington. I think that would bring some sweet, delicious justice to the college football world because we get to see Diego Pavia in the playoff, man. That'd be great.
Dude, I need it. And like, I mean, like, again, this is just me talking about like what's going to happen and like how the committee has behaved to this point. I think it's a non-zero chance that you're talking about a resume for Vanderbilt that's not dissimilar from what Notre Dame has on its resume. Like
Right.
two high quality losses, neither of which were particularly ugly. Like the Alabama final score might look ugly, but that game was a lot closer than it looked. It been like and got out of hand late in the fourth quarter. Texas game, you obviously almost came back and put a scare in the Longhorns. And then, Missouri and Tennessee, that's not dissimilar from beating a USC and a Michigan. Like it's very much on the same tier. So like it's unfortunate that Vanderbilt's resume is not being like valued in the same way, but that's just where we're at.
I kind of feel Oklahoma catching live basically took the wind out of their sails.
Yeah, 100%. Like, had Oklahoma not beaten Alabama, my answer to this question would probably be very different.
I would think so. I don't think we got the first down here because this guy was just running sideways. God, stupid Falcons. Uh, he might have gotten. I don't care. Whatever. Falcons. Anyway, and then the other one, Duhast with Jared Curtis flipping. I don't know if you saw what Diego Pavia said at the podium. I don't know if that's a recruiting violation, but he just went for it.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that could be a gray area in the recruiting pipeline when it comes to Diego Pavia. That's kind of his brand at this point. I'm leaning Du Haas 1S. And it's not like Vanderbilt's still not a program at the level of Georgia, but it is an easier sell job to a five-star quarterback to be like, hey, would you like to come be the guy immediately upon your arrival? Would you like to come be the guy who can keep Vanderbilt football relevant for the next 4 years? As opposed to going to Georgia and be like, hey, would you like to wait your turn? Like, that's just a different sell job. And I think Clark Lee and Vanderbilt, especially with the success they're having this year, they can make that message very, very tantalizing.
I'm of the belief Duhast rest, it's probably going to happen. And it's for that exact reason. Look, I don't think this is some impressionable Dylan Raiola nonsense.
No,
It's the perfect storm. You have the local kid from Nashville. Vanderbilt's in Nashville. Vanderbilt's effing turned. Diego Pavia's gonna go pro. Trying to play pro football. We'll see what he does
he's
there.
probably going to be a coach at Vanderbilt next year. I've decided on this recently. I think he's just going to be a coach at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, a GA, biology major. He's gonna start like learning how to like suture people up. It's gonna be
He's
great.
going to be a biology professor by the time it's all set. Biology professor and like quarterbacks
You love to see that. He's the Quinn Snyder of Vanderbilt, man.
Yes.
Okay, they actually got a first down. That was great.
Let's go.
Cousins
Cowboys are
ran.
finally on the board, baby. Let's go.
Let's 13-7 Falcons right now. What are you at?
21-7 Eagles. It's not going great, but we're on the
No, no,
board.
no, no. We're doing that. But it's like Stockton's, even though Stockton walked during senior day and people were kind of freaking out about that, like that's just procedural.
Mhm.
You also do this because everybody does it. Stetson Bennett did that twice and he didn't graduate. But also these are guys you probably came into school with. Stockton's probably getting his degree here in a couple of weeks, so like we'll see what happens. But at this juncture, you have what, 12 career starts under your belt. You are an emerging NFL prospect. You're probably not going to get drafted very high now, if at all. You come back, you might be a top 100 pick. Hell, you might even be a first round pick in 2026,
No,
2027, excuse me.
100%. And then you have like if Georgia could retain Ryan Puglisi behind him, like it's his job in 2027. Like
Yeah.
Jared Curtis would have to wait minimum 2 years to play, whereas like Vanderbilt, they're not exactly lined up behind Diego Pavia. There's a reason they were fighting very hard for Diego Pavia to get another year of eligibility. They didn't really have this next like their next move at quarterback lined up.
They also got the 5-star Wade in 28. So,
Yeah. So and I mean like again like Clark Lee and the staff, they know what the hell they're doing, man. And like we've seen the program turn around. Like I think one of the biggest things that I've noticed, like the Kentucky game was a blowout, but it was loud in Nashville. It's probably the loudest I've ever heard in Nashville. That wasn't like a huge game. Like it's becoming an act. Like I don't mean this as derogatory as it is going to sound because it is going to sound very derogatory. They're an SEC school now, like in
yeah.
football, and like that has not been the case. And they are an SEC school now, and like. How many times have we seen Georgia or Alabama lose a 5-star recruit to another SEC school that just has a better opening and opportunity? It happens every single recruiting cycle.
Yeah, it's the renovations for the stadium have worked in their favor and everything like that. And starters at home. So Cody and I were in the early discussions of my bachelor party here.
Mhm.
We thought if Georgia was playing at Vanderbilt like next year, we'd probably go.
It'd be
But I don't
sick.
it's I don't think it's happening, but that's
Yeah.
okay. But that would be good to be like, oh, let's go watch a game in another venue and watch Georgia win.
Hell
So
yeah.
what?
We can do that.
We'll probably just get smashed in a box at a Preds game.
Well, just sign me up.
Yes. Yeah, Cody's spitting a hockey knowledge, spitting chicklets out there.
That's right. You know me, big hockey guy.
Pekka Rinne that's finished for God, right?
100%.
But yeah, I do think Vanderbilt's going to get kind of boxed out here just because they don't have the quality win here. And I think that they probably do end up flipping Curtis. I just feels like it's kind of going in that direction. Also, Georgia doesn't really start freshmen like
No.
Fromm, Eason, and Stafford. That's the last three guys who did.
Yeah, and I mean, 2 for 3 in those. Eason, sorry about it, but
No,
not exactly on the same level as the other two there.
no, not even close. Not even one little bit. Let's move on to the second half of our show with something dumb. Let's do this or that.
Hell yeah.
I got the spinner. This is gonna be great. We're gonna do a different version of this on a for Thanksgiving episode, but it's gonna be more TI and spin. It's gonna be great. You guys are gonna love it or hate it. It doesn't matter. It's gonna be
That's right.
cool.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
All right. First series of spins. This is just all about vibes.
We are vibe curators, if nothing
We
else.
got the Tennessee Volunteers,
Okay.
and we got the South Florida Bulls. It's a pretty good one.
That is a good one. Make me think a little bit. Obviously, a lot of Josh Heupel connection there with Alex Galesh.
Disciple, disciple.
That's right. I'm gonna go Tennessee, specifically coming out of week 13 with the win over Florida in the swamp, something you hadn't done in 22 years, man. And like your playoff hopes died long ago. Like Tennessee doesn't really have any shot of making the playoff regardless of what happens in the Vanderbilt game. But that's something you can hang your hat on. That's something that's going to make you feel good going into next season. Um, I think the vibes would be better, and this would be an easier decision if they weren't flirting with the idea of trying to bring Joey Aguilar back because I don't want that. That's not a good thing for Tennessee, I don't think.
No.
But still going to give them the slight edge, especially because South Florida might lose Galesh.
And that's why I ultimately went with Tennessee. They're not losing Josh Heupel. They're in Knoxville. They're more likely than not going to lose Galesh. They're in Tampa.
Yeah, I mean, other programs would be stupid if they don't lose Galesh because I think he's a damn good football coach, man.
He kind of works anywhere. So let's move our second series of spins.
Let's do it.
We got the UAB Blazers.
Whatever the other team is, I'm going to choose that one.
The ULM Warhawks.
Honestly, I don't know what ULM's up to. BYU had people stabbed before their game against USF yesterday, so I'm gonna go with ULM because that didn't happen there.
I believe so too. We have poured one out for both of those teams, if I'm not mistaken at this point. Yeah. ULM poured one out for them.
I
Uh,
think we did. That sounds right.
they're on the cusp somewhere. I don't even know. No. Yeah, we have poured one out. We have definitely poured one out for them.
Yeah, they're 3-8. They got their ass handed to them by Texas State yesterday. But again, UAB had a stabbing in the locker room yesterday and still played a football game. Vibes can't be great.
You can only grow up from here, I guess. All right, spins number three. We got Colorado State Rams. A lot of green and gold so far.
Yeah, it's the green and gold week. While you're doing the second spin here, was just informed that Jack White is the halftime show for the Lions game on Thanksgiving. What?
What's he gonna say about his sister, wife Meg?
I don't know.
God, that was so awkward. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know if you saw that.
Jack White's a weird dude. Like a good bit of his music. Weird dude.
The other one is Stanford for the third spin. So I think it's got to be Stanford. You won the game. You won the big
Yeah,
game.
I was gonna lean Stanford there. You I don't Did you see the clip of Andrew Luck when
Yes, I did.
on the phone like absolutely
Ball,
electric
ball.
ball.
They're going to get somebody really good as a head coach. It might as well be him. Might as well.
100%, man. I think Stanford is sneakily trending in a good direction.
Look how much better Cal's gotten since Ron Rivera's taken over as like the player personnel guy.
Having an adult in the room,
Yeah.
shockingly enough, helps the process.
They had two really bad ADs there for a while with Muir and then the guy who just count checks there, Cal. It was rough there, but the ACC California schools is getting better.
100%. We love to see it.
All right,
The ACC California schools is never going to not sound weird.
the All California Conference. Falcons are up 16-7 at halftime. We've got three Zane Gonzalez field goals. So
Love
yeah.
that.
All right, let's move on to our fourth series of spins.
Shouts to the Arizona State podcast and Zane
Oh,
Gonzalez.
always. She was a big fan of him. Michigan State Spartans.
Okay. Okay.
There's
More
no
green.
vibes.
More green.
More green. And the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. I think,
I think
yeah,
by default we got to go Louisiana, don't we?
I think so. Raging Cajuns are on the doorstep of they're 5-6, so like they could go to a bowl game or they could not go to a bowl game. And then
They play
Michigan
Monroe
State,
in the final week of the season, so I'm going to guess that they might go to a bowl game.
I would probably venture to guess that Michigan State, that's I think that's the worst team in the Big Ten. I think that they're worse than Purdue.
I think you're probably right, man. It's not even like last year Michigan State wasn't good, but it was like a hopeful watch. It's not that anymore. It's just bad.
Like Mike Babinski has a good head coach in Barry Odom. I think Jay Batt comes over from Georgia Tech. And he's like, this sucks.
Yeah, this is terrible. We
T-
don't we
t-
don't want to do this.
Honestly, I would let Tom Izzo coach the football team because I think you'd get more cohesiveness there in a tougher team.
100%. He might not know anything about what he's talking about, but they're gonna be together.
They're going to be together. um, Izzo is now November.
That's right.
January, February, Izzo, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, Izzo,
Is
December. All right, that was our fourth series of spins, right?
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
Fifth spin. All right. Um, we're gonna go with this is really hurting my eyes. The Houston Cougars,
Okay.
who lost TCU.
Yeah, not
Not
what you wanted
super,
there. Not what
not
you
what you
wanted
not
there.
what you wanted there. We've already gotten Stanford, so we got to do another spin.
Okay, okay. The respin.
A lot of red there. A lot of seeing red.
That's right.
And we got some more red and white with Wisconsin Badgers.
Okay. I think we still got to go Houston, despite the fact that you had an outside shot at the Big 12 championship game. You blew it. But I think Houston has played above its head like most of this season, where Wisconsin has been playing below its head for like ever since Luke Fickell got there.
Wisconsin's been playing with his ass up with its head in its hole, head like a hole.
100%. The
Can't
square
wait.
peg in the round hole.
uh, Bow down before the one you serve.
That's right.
I can't wait till we use that song. The conference championship week. It's gonna
That
be
is
amazing.
so good.
All right, last series of spins. Um, Texas.
Okay. Okay.
I almost did a hook 'em and I realized I can't do that ethically.
Yeah, I mean it's against your religion, and it's
Texas
Sunday.
and the school that Tim Albin left for Charlotte, the Ohio Bobcats.
Um, I feel like we gotta go Ohio here. Not only can they forever hold it over Tim Albin's head that he made the wrong decision to leave the program because they're still doing well in the MAC, and Tim Albin is at Charlotte, and we know how that's going. But Texas is a good football team, but like I don't think the vibes are particularly high right now. Like not only did you fall short, well short of expectations, but you also are watching your biggest rival, who you have a head-to-head win at over, probably going to the college football playoff in Oklahoma.
Yeah, you're not having a good time with them. You can't beat Georgia.
Yeah, it's a bad time.
You might be 8-4. You might lose to A&M too. We'll see what
Yeah,
happens
definitely.
there.
I mean, definitely pot. Like again, I'm picking Texas for that game, but like not ruling out. Like it's not like 100% certainty that that's going to happen.
No, but it's 100% certain for this next topic, our penultimate topic here. These teams have gotten 6 wins, and other teams have gotten a 7 win. So it's very 6, 6, 7. Yeah, like we're
Is
yeah.
that right? Am I doing it right? Is that
My
what it
my
is?
my future nephew was talking about that. I'm like, I'm not ready for this stuff. I haven't even met you yet, bro. Shout out Brandon, Mont, Massachusetts.
That's right.
All right. We're gonna pour one out for the Ball State Cardinals.
hmm
Can't say I've watched really anything with what they're doing here. This just seems like a program where if you don't have the right coach, you don't go anywhere.
100%. And even if you have the right coach, like it's very Illinois Northwestern, but in the MAC. Whereas like
Yeah,
you're gonna have your pop years, but the other years are gonna be pretty tough sledding. Like you're gonna be able to see when the pop years are coming, but from what I've seen from the Cardinals, they're not that close to one right now.
no, they're not. We're gonna pour one out for the Florida Atlantic Owls. We knew that Zach Kitley was going to be going into a tough situation there in Boca Raton in the wake of the latest Tom disaster, piss and blood, whatever the hell that was. There were some positive signs there at FAU. Just this was never going to be a fantastic first year for Kitley.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a I think Lane Kiffin fooled people into thinking this was a good job. It's not.
No,
It's really not. Lane Kiffin is just very good at his job. Um, but I mean, FAU has been like impressive considering the situation this season.
100%. Pouring out for the Kent State Golden Flashes. Feel bad about this. I wanted to see them get to a bowl game. They navigated the Kenny Burns nonsense. I think it's Mark Carney's the new head coach there now. They're trending up. They're feisty. They didn't give up. They're just not very talented.
Yeah, I mean, a hell of a job to take this long of the season for Kent State to not be bowl eligible. Like that,
Yeah.
honestly, that is an accomplishment. And I'm not even being like facetious when I say that.
Pouring out for the one we really got to rip here. The Liberty Flames. Oof.
Brother, Jamie Chadwell's stock on the decline. Pretty big way.
Yeah, he's blockbuster stock now, man.
100%. Shouts to Bend, Oregon, man.
Yeah, they still got that one. That's also the guy who tried to do the kick there at game day for Oregon.
Yeah, 100%.
Got to pour one out for the Maryland Terrapins. You got the Wisconsinitis all over you, and you can't win a game. I do like Malik Washington. I think what Mike Locks is going to coach out the rest of the year, or maybe he's even into next year. I don't know. Maryland should not be this dead right now, but it is. Hashtag
It's
turtle up.
it is the exact same recipe that we've seen every year from Mike Locksley. Like vote of confidence be damned. He's got to go, man. How many times do you have to see the exact same thing happen over and over and over again?
I don't know. Do turtles hibernate?
This one does for sure.
Hell yeah. Testudo, eat your heart out.
Hit mid-October, you go into your shell, man.
Got to pour one out for your guys, the North Carolina Tar Heels. I'll let you read a eulogy if you want to, or you just don't have to attend the funeral if you don't want to. It's okay.
Thank God they're dead. Like that's where I'm at. I'm so done with this team. They're not good.
No. I wanted them to be decent for you. So I want to see Bill Belichick coaching in the Bahamas Bowl, but I guess not.
Man, I gave up on this team like midway through the second quarter against TCU. So like I've been out on this for a while. The emotional
Yeah.
investment has been gone.
And then pour one out for the Wyoming Cowboys. This is a team that's really not really lost its way in the wake of Craig Bowl retiring. Like this
Hmm.
team's kind of like lost its juice. Josh Allen got his number retired, and that didn't matter. They still
No,
lost.
still lost. I will say he did. I meant to mention it earlier. He did take a shot at Colorado State while he was getting his jersey retired, which he said it's always going to suck to be a CSU Ram. Which at least Wyoming's got that going for them. They're not Colorado State.
I was sitting there thinking, like, who is Wyoming's like biggest rival? I think it might be CSU. I think they hate Air Force a lot too, don't they?
Yeah, it's the Northern Colorado schools, and then obviously not. It's not an FBS rivalry, but I think Idaho is a pretty big rival as well.
That's fair too. All right, those teams we poured them all out for. Since I don't think you like these first two teams, I will volunteer to go bowling. I'll
Uh,
do it this time.
all righty, brother. Let's start here with a team that I'll be damned. They made a bowl game. Certainly didn't look like it for much of the year, but even going bowling feels like well short of expectations. But the Clemson Tigers are going.
Bowling, 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 bowling.
Yeah, saddest bowling in the world, honestly. Like
The
I
the,
picked you to win a national championship.
the low Clemson.
Clemson with a P for sure this year.
Yeah.
Um, and then the reason that my North Carolina Tar Heels are not going bowling, and we had to pour one out, those MFers in Durham, North Carolina, the Duke Blue Devils are going.
Bowling, 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 bowling. Manny Diaz is a really good coach. I think
It
this I
really
think that this thing's been
is.
disjointed all year long. I think getting into a bowl game in another year there in Durham, you can keep building something. I don't know if it's good, but you can keep building something.
I mean, consistent bowl games, like Duke fans are going to be spoiled by it because Duke fans are spoiled. Like that's kind of in their
Right.
DNA. But going to consistent bowl games is not the norm for Duke football. So like enjoy this because it means you're in a good place program wise. Um in a trending up place program wise, as Pitbull has made his investments, the Florida
Dale.
International Panthers are going.
Bowling, 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 bowling. Willie Simmons is kind of a head coach on the rise there too. He made a big impact this year.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be a name that we talk about a lot next coaching
Mhm.
carousel, probably for
Yeah.
like a bigger G5 job.
Yeah, he and Jerry Mack at Kennesaw State they've
Mhm.
been really impressive this year.
Yeah, I mean we raked Kennesaw under the over the coals for moving on from I'm blanking on his name.
Brian Bohannon.
Yeah, the dude who's
Yeah.
been there forever, Bohannon,
Yeah.
and like we raked him over the coals for that. And turns out they might have been right. So there's that.
You might have been right.
um, Another G5 team that just I feel like they are just like clockwork going to bowl games. The Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, man, are once again going.
Bowling, 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 bowling. Yeah, Sonny Cumbie took himself off the hot seat. Good for him.
100%, man. It's a lot of coaches wish they could have that fate. Staying in G5 and going to a little bit of action here. The Miami, Ohio Redhawks are going.
Bowling, 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 bowling. Yes, they beat Buffalo, and Chuck Martin looks fantastic in that sweater vest.
He,
Always.
dude, absolutely crushing it. Just a dapper man, that guy. This is a really sick bowling for me because once again, I have another ACC team that I loathe entirely. But Dave Doran just doesn't stop because the NC State Wolfpack are going.
Bowling, 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 bowling. Yeah, I'm sure Natalie really cares. She probably has no idea. That's
has
okay.
has no clue. I, Sneakily, I think NC State's going to be pretty damn good next year.
Yeah.
I think they're back to trending in the right direction. I think they're going to be pretty damn good. A team that is pretty damn good despite very low preseason expectations. And David Braun, hats off to you, man. I think you are one of the most underrated coaches in college football because the Northwestern Wildcats are going.
Bowling, 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 bowling. I've been pulling for this for weeks, man. I
Mhm.
wanted to get to 6 wins so badly.
And they
They
did it,
did.
man. And deservedly, I mean, this team has played. even when they've lost, they've not like rolled over for anyone in the Big Ten, which has been impressive to see. Um, shouts to my area of the country and the Utah State Aggies because they are going.
Bowlin, bowlin, bowlin,
My
bowlin.
apologies. I was looking down and didn't see you had muted to cough. I could have stalled a little bit more there.
It's the liquor or the Frederick's. I don't know what's going on right now.
And then last but not least, one more G5 representative in bowl season. East Carolina had an outside shot to play for the American title until they went down to the house of the meat meat because the UTSA Roadrunners are going.
Meep meep, bowlin, 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 meep meep.
That's
Yes.
right, baby.
Jeff Traylor, who's a prodigy.
He's a prodigy, always was, always will be.
I mean, how many 50-year-old prodigies do you know? I don't want it. Jeff Traylor.
That's right. Guinness Book of World Records, oldest prodigy.
Oh, that was fantastic. So I know at this point, outside of what Army and Navy, I think everybody else that we have on this list is either five, like, or 5 and 6. So like they're vying for it. I don't know if we could do this for a segment on my Wednesday show. It'll be too early, but like we basically pick should this team go bowling or not. That could be
Mm.
fun.
Yeah, I don't know if 6 a.m. Cody has that in him, but we can try if we want to.
Did you have time to reinforce takeoff ramp? Nah, didn't have time.
Didn't have time.
We have time for this. I went to Athens again, like I always do for the Arizona State podcast birthday. We decided we were either going to do, we did a random number generator, 1, 2, and 3.
Mm.
1 was go to Dollywood, 2 was go to
Nice.
Athens, and then 3 was to have our local friends go get some all you can eat buffet sushi and then go do like an Asian karaoke bar.
Hell yeah. It's a good
Athens won.
weekend.
Athens won.
All those are good options, but Athens is always going to hold a special place in your heart.
I saw some stuff here. I'm gonna try to do this like as succinctly, but how do you have anything for this today?
I have two things. Let me start with one because it's super inconsequential. For about the past year, you probably noticed that I have not had my microphone cover, my little boom mic thing here. I found it today in our box of dog toys. I don't know how that happened, but I was just like walking by and I looked down and I was like, what the hell's that in there? And I was like, I've literally been looking for this for a year, and like it's just in the dog toys. Thankfully, the dogs hadn't chewed it up. Thankfully, the dogs hadn't eaten it. But yeah, back. Glad to have my microphone cover. Hopefully, I sound better.
I put mine a little bit out of view here, so like,
Yeah.
and I don't want to touch it because it's barely on here, and that's always the worst. I knock it like right before I'm about to record. It's awful.
Oh, I've knocked my mic off at least. I'll do it at least twice a week.
Uh, it's a beautiful thing here. So I think I'm just gonna do a straight shot. You can ask questions as I go through.
100%.
I'm gonna take you through dinner on Thursday night until we got back to the hotel. So we're basically talking like 7 p.m. until like midnight because we're
Okay.
old. We couldn't make it.
Hey, you made it to midnight. That's an impressive feat at our age.
Well, we also went to 2 breweries beforehand, and we had a
Hmm.
Italian cafe. We're not going back.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I've been rehearsing this so I could say this without being it being an asshole, but like this is how this thing goes. All right, so we went to a probably one of the 5 better restaurants in Athens. I'm not going to say like what the name is. It's good. You can probably figure it out. We got a reservation for it. We was like, oh, we're gonna get some really awesome fish. It's gonna be great. Weather was fantastic. So like, you know what? We're gonna dine al fresco. We're like, this is cool. We can seem a little loud inside. So we sat out on the the bistro al fresco sort of thing.
Hell yeah. What was the temp like? What were we talking here?
Like low 70s
Oh,
at dusk.
beautiful. Oh, that's
It's beautiful.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not sweating. It's great.
Yeah, I was about to say the biggest key there is that it was in the evening and the sun wasn't beating down on you. That's why I can't do eating outside.
The problem was the people sitting next to us and what was going across the street from us.
Okay.
So the people sitting next to us, it was like 3 people. It was like two girlfriends and like some other friend, some guy. Maybe it was his husband. And this lady, she's gonna go to hell. I can already tell. Just complaining about her kids, like actively hating her kids over there, saying that like, why can't my kids be like my horses? And like my kids, like they made me go to that ratty ass restaurant Carrabba's, and all they wanted to eat was butter. And I'm just like, how dare you desecrate like my favorite restaurant as a kid? Meanwhile, she only got dessert and they definitely made a prayer circle. She also walked her wine back because I was
Like as in like walked it back to the kitchen or the
yes.
sommelier or whoever.
Yeah,
I'd have spit in their food for sure.
she deserved it. So
Yeah.
this is the thing I've been rehearsing. So across the street from us was a plasma donation center.
Okay, okay.
And I don't know.
As someone who donated plasma in college, I know the vibe.
Apparently, like it really messes you up. So when you come out of there, you're not doing so hot.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
There was a guy, he must have been like 20 something wearing a backpack, and he was just running around. He was like running around like the building and there. He disappeared. He might have passed out in a bush somewhere.
He's probably
It's,
trying to get warm, man. That ass makes you cold because they like the blood's been out of your body for a minute and like in a centrifuge, and then they put it back inside you, and it's cold as hell.
that would explain the other guy there. He was like taking his shoes off, trying to get into his backpack to warm up.
Yeah, dude, it makes you cold.
And then this other guy was trying to fight something in his mind. And I'm sitting over there. I have to protect everybody here because like I'm only about 50 feet away from these people. This is getting wild.
He's fighting his demons, man.
Yeah, so we go to a bar across the street from there, and like directly next door to it. And
Okay.
we saw this like, oh, this is a cool vibe. We saw it there like the first time we were out there. I'd never really been. I'm not gonna know the name of it. I walk in there, and the bartender could not be more obnoxious. He was like, basically take Andy Samberg's character in Parks and Recreation
Okay.
with big T-Bob A-Bear energy, with just so much like with hair like me. And he's over there and he's just yelling at the people who I think are regulars coming in there, but was just a really loud talker. And it's like a really nice kind of like fun vibe in there. This guy was absolutely just ruining it. And we go outside. There's a guy spinning records out there, like basically 1990s stuff.
Hell
This
yeah.
girl's like really getting down to like Busto what it is right now. And his family's all sitting at like one table, just ripping one heater after another. And I'm like, okay, let's finish our drink and go somewhere else because this is too much right now.
This is not the vibe.
No. So then we go to one of our favorite bars, but we realized we were a little bit too old there because it was Dollar Yinglings here.
Okay.
And I didn't want to be, I didn't want to kill the vibe of people who were born after the Black Parade.
100%. You can't welcome if they were born after it.
So we're like, you know what? We're not going to have any issues here. We go to this other bar. It was like really grimy, which we love. It was also the red flag was we had to pay a $5 cover to listen to a band. We're like,
Mm.
okay, cool. This is gonna be fun. We're gonna see whatever this is. And then, we start seeing people come in there. We saw like this is a band. A bunch of like this one girl like dressed like she played bass in Smashing Pumpkins with like a yin yang gecko tattoo on her back.
Ah, yes. What a vibe.
Then some guy comes in there with like, a motorcycle gang combat vest.
Okay.
And I looked the band setting up. I'm like, oh, it'd be really funny if this was like a band of like Sublime. And I kid you not, just death metal, which is the worst type of music of all time. It's like,
Especially for like a small bar type venue too. Like that's the worst. Like unless it's a Denny's, I don't want it.
and then like the four cute cuties just walk out immediately. Like, because this is just
Yeah.
like, just the Warren Moon of anti-poon, just like music. I'm like, I'm getting out of here. This is like, and the worst part is like that the kids' families were up there. Like, it's like, well, he's happy and I'm happy. And I'm like, this isn't good at all. This is why like everybody who listens to like Iron Maiden is just a friendless version, dude.
100%.
So we left that behind, and we got like a cocktail at like a restaurant that's like very much like had every poster was JFK or MLK in there. It was just a lot of that.
Okay.
And then went to Chiba Hut. Have you ever been to one of those?
No.
Weed themed subs, and it
Oh,
was
hell
great.
yeah. Hell yeah.
It was a social night, so every fraternity had like the blue blazers on there, and everybody, a lot of Chads, a lot of Brad Chadfords and Chad Bradfords walking around,
100%.
and then we went home.
Hell yeah. Hey, it's not an evening if you don't like stop at least two bars that are not the vibe.
That is not the vibe, and the Saints try to go front and forth and goal with Taysom Hill, and he's got a the ball swatted down by some guy in a guardian cap.
Got Taysom Hill, I didn't Taysom Hill like 35 now. Like, dude's getting a little old for this.
I know it's really dumb. Uh, like he could have gone to like seven missions by now.
Oh, 100%.
And
Absolutely.
what's your other one?
Just wanted to make the starters and you aware of what happened in Albuquerque a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Um, they had to close down I-25 in Albuquerque because there was a javelina running down the middle of the road. And in case
Yes.
anyone's not aware what that is, it's basically a wild boar. And
Mhm.
but they're like stockier. Like wild boars, like look like a pig. Nah, this looks like someone took a pig and just like a wild boar and like smashed it together. So it's like a little fat body. And there are videos online of like these cops chasing it down I-25 on foot. And it's one of the best things I've ever seen. And it's also the one like only in New Mexico are you seeing that S. Like there's no other place in the world where you're seeing a javelina shutting down an interstate.
I actually know what a javelina is. Like it's a Mexican wild boar, effectively, is what I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
The reason I
Just
know
letting
that
the starters. I figured you knew, but just in case there's any starters out there who are not aware.
the only reason I know this is for two reasons. One, I think when I was covering the Raiders beat, I think Gene Upshaw or some Raiders legend went to like some Texas A&M hyphen school. They were the Javelinas. I'm like, what the heck
There
is
is.
that?
I was just about to say there is like a small school. I think it's like a JUCO that is the Javelinas.
Like Texas A&M Commerce or something like
Yeah.
that. And I also know this because you're a big Twitter guy, or were at one point in time. Bunky Perkins.
Yeah, I love Bucky, man.
He had like Javelina running across like something in like San Antonio, scored like what, sabotaged by Beastie Boys, and everybody kept saying, Spencer Hall, aka Bum Chips, hey, that's you. Can't stand it. I know you planned it. I'm gonna send it straight this Watergate.
Oh, that's hilarious. Shouts to Bunky Perkins, man. What a guy. He's also like me and Bunky would get along. He's a big college football and a big golf guy, which hey, we'll vibe to that.
Yeah, better than the guy on the sidewalk who I saw on his graffitied mattress that he was screaming at somebody like, Gretchen!
Gretchen!
He looked like Zach Cherry too. There's nothing worse than you go outside and like try to clear your mental capacities and it just gets worse.
I don't know. So you gotta think of it glass half full and be like, oh well, my day's not going as bad as that guy. So
No, and on that note, this was episode 229 of False Start. You can follow me, John Buhler, on Twitter or the X at Buhler118. You can follow Cody Williams at the Sizzle20. You can follow the show at CFB False Start. Like, rate, listen, subscribe, review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Anywhere there's podcasts, give us a 5-star review. It really helps the show grow. Been working all day. Gonna have some rotisserie chicken or something. I don't know what Resure's gonna bring home, but we're eating that.
I'm about to head to eat my body weight in Olive Garden. So I'm excited for that.
I did that the other day too.
Dude, like me and the NC State podcast were talking, and like I would say like 6, 7 months ago we went to Chili's. What didn't really hit the way Chili's used to. It could just be the New Mexico, Santa Fe, New Mexico Chili's. Um, but there are a lot of like chain restaurants that like are kind of hit or miss. Chili's I think is probably among there. Your Applebee's is mostly miss. Uh, Olive Garden never disappoints, man. You know what you're going in there for, and they deliver every single time.
I respect the hell out of that. Speaking as a guy who had Chili's for his 12th birthday, just let that sink. I just
Again,
made it.
I as a young man, I loved me some Chili's. As a young woman, the NC State podcast loved Chili's. That's why we went back, and it did not hit quite the same.
Feel God in this Chili's right now.
100%. I did not. I felt the devil. Uh,
When you get the endless pasta, salad, and breadsticks, make sure to pace yourself and don't false start because this is false start.